All right, so you bought a G35. Maybe you bought the sedan, maybe you bought the coupe, maybe you bought a VQ35DE, which is found on the pre-2007 models, or maybe you have a VQ35HR, which is this model, which is 07 and 08 for the G35 chassis and the 350Z. Maybe you have a G37 and you have the VQ37 in it. Now, either way, everyone wants to make power out of these cars. The best place to start, let's say you're most likely broke because you bought a used Infiniti like me, and you want a cheap way to get a couple ponies. Well, guess what? There are tons of things you can do to get a couple ponies, but that's all you're gonna get unless you spend some big bucks. So, in front of me here, we have some air filters. Now, K&N is probably the leader in high flow air filters amongst some other companies. Now, these came from DNA Motoring. I believe these were actually an Amazon purchase. And basically what we have is a K&N lookalike for under $30 a piece. I think they're actually closer to $25 a piece. So you can spend $60 per filter, spend $120 total for 2 air filters, or you can do what I did and you can spend under 60 bucks for 2 filters that breathe pretty close to the same. Now, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but if I go up and bring it up into the light, you can clearly see these things can breathe. Now, I'm not gonna get into a comments war about light tests and how looking through air filters, but bring a paper filter up to the light and try to look through it, okay? You ain't gonna see jack. Paper filters are extremely restrictive. They do filter better though, so that's something to consider. Now this right here again, VQ35HR, 2 air filters. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to start this thing up. I'm gonna rev it a couple times with the stock filters. We're gonna throw these filters in, see if there's any sound difference. K&N produces for sure around 6 to 7 horsepower on these HR engines just by swapping, and about 8 foot-pounds of torque. I'm guessing these are probably pretty close. They may not be exact, but if you can spend $60 for 5 horse and at least 5 foot-pounds of torque and have a replaceable filter, why not? All right, you guys, even those of you that may have 0 automotive experience, literally, well, these are a little tight, but, so we got our paper filters, we got a little debris on them. I wouldn't say these are super dirty, but take those, throw them away. Now, I'm gonna drop these in. Now they have a thicker rubber seal around them. They're a little bit more difficult to install. So you gotta actually use some force when you're doing this. but 3-minute job, guys, if that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put you in the exact same spot, and we're going to do it again. Alright guys, I'll be honest. I did this video more as a joke than I did anything else. Yes, I'm super dirty, been working all day. If you guys aren't familiar with the channel, I do a lot of some automotive training, some DIY stuff, and we also get into cars, modifications. Channel's not super heavy on content quite yet. We are gonna get there. So, like I said, this video was, kind of more of a joke, but I'll be real with you guys. First modification per se, definitely something that's worth doing. Getting filters in there that breathe a little bit better. Eventually what we are going to be doing is this manifold that sits under here. The manifold is going to be removed, and we are bolting on a 3.7 liter Nissan manifold, the VHR manifold. And essentially what that's going to do is that's going to let the engine breathe better. You're going to get more actual airflow on the intake side, and then most of your power on these cars is actually made on the exhaust side. So stay tuned for that content, guys. We'll have it coming up. Other than that, this is it for the video. Subscribe and like the channel.